Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about sustainability and sustainability specifically in fashion. Obviously, we're going to talk about fast fashion and slow fashion and greenwashing and all these fun terms that we're going to, discuss and figure out together. So, sustainability in fashion is a very hot topic, and it has been a hot topic for a while. So a lot of the info in this section is going to be from a lovely article that I found from the New York Times, which is very interesting and will be linked down below if you want to read the whole thing. So it is called Redefining Sustainable Fashion, and it is by the lovely Vanessa Friedman, and it was published May of this year. So basically, she goes in the article and talks about kind of the history of fast fashion. So I'm going to be pulling out she talks about the history of sustainability and things like that. So I'm going to be pulling out a few interesting things that I found. So lots of governments have made commitments to helping fashion sustainability. So basically trying to make fashion and production of clothing better for the environment than it already is. So one of the biggest ones that I saw from the article that I had found was the UN Climate Change Body in 2018 decided that they were going to try and reach a net zero carbon by 2050. And this really kicked off a lot of other individual governments, such as the government in France, also following suit with similar net carbon kind of things. So that kind of brought sustainability to the forefront of fashion. So talking about how to consume fashion better in terms of helping the environment. So although there has been a lot of help or good steps forward from different governments and other things and companies individual, a huge problem is companies greenwashing. So if you don't know what greenwashing basically means a company says that they're being sustainable and they're doing all these great things and blah, 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 but there's nothing there to back it up. So basically they are putting on the facade of being sustainable so they can get more revenue, essentially. So obviously this is a huge problem because consumers won't necessarily look into it, and then huge retailers who are fast fashion retailers continue to make a lot of money. And fast fashion retailers, for those who don't know, basically are companies that turn out lots and lots of designs and lots of products very, very quickly. So what happens from this is there's a lot of waste and obviously issues with human labor, with how much people are working and things like that. So two big ones that I think a lot of people would know are Shein, and if you've been on TikTok anywhere in the past, 2 years, you've seen 101 Shein hauls, and there are these huge hauls, and they said like, oh, this got here in a week and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if you think about the volume of it, it's just so much waste because you don't even know how long that person's going to be wearing that item. And then another one is Urban Outfitters. I mean, they turn out so many designs and so many new things. There's no way that it's sustainable at all. So this can be a little bleak, a little grim. So, it's hard. You can't really make a lot of progress with the kind of pulling back and forth between, governments trying to help and then individual companies not doing it. So something that we can do is try and be sustainable on a personal level to kind of reduce our carbon footprint and improve our sustainability. So I made a little list of things that I do or things that I've seen other people do on how to improve your own personal sustainability in fashion and things like that. So number one is repurpose or altering your clothing. So say you buy a piece and it doesn't exactly fit right, instead of say giving it away or trashing it or whatever, just keeping it and not using it, learning to sew or bringing it to a tailor or doing something to change the fit so you like it more, so you wear it more. And then if you're trying to just kind of repurpose an item that you don't wear a lot, like changing out the buttons, adding different patches, you know, if it's a t-shirt that you don't wear, cutting the sleeves off, making it a tank top, basically repurposing what you already have. Another one that I did recently that I had never done before was a clothing swap with your friends. So me and two of my other friends, we bagged up a bunch of clothes that we didn't want, and we brought them to somebody's house, and we sat down and we dumped everything out and we traded, and you know, I would trade one of my old pieces for something of my friends, and we all got a bunch of new clothes out of the deal, and we got it for free. And I didn't have to either deal with selling them or trying to donate them or them sitting there. I got things that I'd wear, and my friends got things that they'd wear, and it all, like, the piece gets a new life with a new person. One that's a little bit difficult is buying from sustainable companies. So the issue that kind of tends to come around with that is sustainable companies and sustainable products are going to cost more. This is because the company is sourcing their materials ethically. Often I've seen a lot of these companies have closed supply chains, and they're also paying their workers a living wage, which is a huge part of sustainability in terms of the human rights portion of it, you know? So although it's hard sometimes to spend the money on it, it's a better investment because you're doing something better for not only the environment, but probably for some other people. One of my personal favorite sustainable companies is Everlane, and I know I've talked about them in a few videos. I tend to purchase from them the most because although their products are more expensive than other places you can get things, they do tend to be one of the more reasonable prices for, you know, sustainable clothing. And something I really like about them and some other slow fashion or sustainable companies is they are very transparent about why the product costs as much as it does. So it gives you a breakdown of how much the material costs and the labor and all those things. So that's all I have for you this week. Thank you all for watching. I hope maybe you learned something. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.